Joining me now from our bureau in Washington, D.C., Washington editor for The Spectator, Amber Athey. Amber, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Stephanie.
Amber, as we know, President Trump was very vocal about how he felt about the virtual debate or town hall, if you will. And I think that there was reason for him to be concerned about it. And not only that, I mean, if you look back at the 2016 debates with Hillary Clinton and her getting some questions in advance from the CNN town hall, I think as a Republican candidate and being President Trump, I would be very concerned about what would go on behind the scenes at a virtual town hall with Biden.
I would be concerned as well. And look, a virtual town hall does nothing but benefit Joe Biden while harming President Trump. One of Biden's most difficult some of his most difficult moments have been when he's speaking directly to voters. He notably gets angry when voters ask him difficult questions or ask him to take stances on particular matters. And he's actually insulted voters to their faces. So it makes sense why they would want to keep him protected behind a screen rather than having to face those questions in person. I would also be concerned for the sheer fact that the Commission on Presidential Debates made this decision without any input from either campaign. It actually happened the morning after the vice presidential debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris, which I think many independent observers noticed that Mike Pence absolutely destroyed her during that debate. And the following morning, the Commission on Presidential Debates announced single-handedly that they were going to move the next presidential debate virtually. So it certainly seemed awfully convenient that they wanted to apparently protect Joe Biden right after his vice presidential nominee got destroyed. And normally what would happen in the terms of negotiating these debates is that both campaigns would sit down in a room with the Commission on Presidential Debates present as a sort of independent moderator, and they would debate the rules and decide what dates are decided for the debates and who the moderators are going to be. And instead, the Commission made this decision, again, single-handedly without input from either campaign.
Yeah. Here I have an article from the Daily Caller written by Peter Hassan. He says that the swamp, the debate commission's packed with Trump critics from both parties. And just from like looking at it from the outside, you look at the moderators that they've chosen for the debates. And obviously, if they were picking moderators that had put out pro-Trump tweets or maybe worked for Republicans in the past, that probably wouldn't go over so smoothly with everyone.
No, of course not. And meanwhile, the moderators they have chosen, even Chris Wallace from Fox News, who is supposedly the conservative moderator, have all expressed anti-Trump bias in the past. Chris Wallace previously accused the president of being responsible for the most aggressive attack on the freedom of the press. Steve Scully was recently busted in a photo with Joe Biden, as well as actually tweeting at Anthony Scaramucci, who's a notable Trump hater, asking if he should respond to the president's criticism of him. And then Kristen Welker is a reporter for NBC who has been very aggressive and attacked the press secretary in the briefing room. So all three of the moderators that were chosen with the approval of both campaigns have been people who are obviously going to go harder on the president. And still, Trump was willing to go toe-to-toe with both Joe Biden and the moderators, but there's only so many concessions you can make before this obviously becomes a partisan, unfair endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking about Steve Scully, who was supposed to moderate the second debate in that tweet. He says he was hacked, so the FBI is looking into that. Well, Amber, we got to run. Thank you so much for your time.